American officials believed Israel may have been secretly plotting to assassinate Iran's top negotiators even as the United States was working to broker a fragile peace deal with Tehran. That stunning revelation comes from current and former U.S. officials who spoke about the tensions that defined this spring's ceasefire talks. The two officials at the center of American fears were Abbas Araghchi, Iran's foreign minister, and Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf, the Speaker of Iran's parliament. Both men were key figures in the delicate negotiations that began in April. U.S. officials grew alarmed that Israel might target them, and according to some accounts, Washington went so far as to ask other countries in the region to quietly warn Iran that the two officials could be in danger. To understand why this matters, you have to go back to the beginning of the conflict. The war started on February 28, when Israel launched a strike that killed Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, along with other top Iranian officials, an operation carried out in part using U.S. intelligence. From the very start, Israel's strategy included systematically eliminating Iran's senior leadership. The goal was nothing short of toppling Iran's hardline theocratic government. American officials acknowledged that in the early, most intense phase of the war, figures like Araghchi and Ghalibaf could have been considered legitimate military targets. But the calculus changed once serious ceasefire negotiations got underway in April. At that point, Washington believed that killing either man would immediately collapse the talks and reignite full-scale fighting. Israel's campaign had already claimed the lives of other senior Iranian officials the Trump administration had hoped to negotiate with. Ali Larijani, Iran's top national security official, and Kamal Karazi, a former Iranian foreign minister, were both killed in Israeli airstrikes while they were actively engaged in talks with the United States. Their deaths illustrated just how sharply the two allies' war aims had diverged. And that divergence became a defining feature of this conflict. While the United States pushed for a negotiated settlement, Israel remained deeply skeptical. When a two-week ceasefire was announced in April, Israeli officials gave it only grudging public support, and the Israeli public expressed broad concern that Washington was pulling the plug on the war too soon. Adding to the complexity, rather than being weakened or driven from power, Iran's government had reportedly become even more hardline in the wake of the conflict. This story is a window into just how fraught the relationship between Washington and Jerusalem became during one of the most consequential military campaigns in the modern Middle East. Allies on paper, but increasingly at odds over the endgame. That's the latest from the region. We'll continue following developments as they unfold.